I didn't know you were going to do that. Now you made it easy for me. I'm supposed to speak Tuesday, but the Prime Minister's kind of late. So they grabbed me and Levin, and we're more than happy to speak twice. So I spoke here last year at the very first ever International Policy Summit. It was a big thrill. I got to tell you, a lot of you folks contacted me last year and said you were here and really enjoyed it, which made my heart warm. So I want to start with this before I get to this creep mayor of mine in New York City. If you live in America, stand up right now. All right, that's a nice portion of the audience lives in America. Now, if you happen to live like I do in New York City, stay standing. You all moved out, didn't you? You got smart. You went to Florida or Nashville or South Carolina. Some of you went to Jerusalem. So I'm going to start by saying this. I've been asked, since I've been here for 2 days, 100 times, about my friend President Trump. And I know a lot of people in Israel are very, very upset with my friend the president. And for what it's worth, me, myself, I've been critical of President Trump, and my dear friend Mark Levin, who's coming up next, who's immensely popular, he's been critical. We're asking questions. We want to know what's going on. But I can guarantee you this. At the end of the day, he's still our friend. So before you turn your backs on President Trump, I would think twice about that. You could easily have Kamala Harris as the president right now. You'd still have hostages in Gaza. The war would still be raging. And anti-Semitism, as bad as it is, would be worse. Or you could have J.D. Vance. Good luck with that. So before you start turning so quickly on up when President Trump, trust me when I tell you, thank God we still have him. Thank God. Just trust me. It hasn't been great. I get it. But he's dealing with a very, very angry Republican Party. And it does make sense, that Mamdani video, why President Trump is dealing with all this. Hard to believe, but outside of this beautiful city, Jerusalem, and this beautiful country, which I love so much, New York has the second most amount of Jews in the world. And you know what's really cool in New York right now? Hate the Jews. That's chic. You're cool. If you don't like the Jews, you're cool. You win elections. You become immensely popular. I'm not even talking about some of these mid-states in America. I'm talking about New York City. I got moms and dads. They say to me, aren't you scared for your kids? I go, of course I'm scared for my kids. But the last thing I'd ever do is tell my kid to take off a yarmulke or to hide his Magen David. You do that and the terrorists win. They'd almost rather see that than a dead body in the streets of Tel Aviv. You wear that Magen David, you wear that yarmulke proudly and say, I'm a Jew. And if you get punched across the face, so what? Ever see the movie Goodfellas? Every now and then it's good to catch a beating. It's true. My own son, he's 17, he can't defend himself. I can. But I say, Gabriel, don't you dare take that stuff off. But here's where we are. So I live in a city that has a mayor who's a jihadist, a socialist, a communist, a Marxist, an anti-Semite. Otherwise, he's not a bad guy. He is the future of this country, my country. So when you talk about the dangers of anti-Semitism, the United States right now is a tinderbox. Every major blue sanctuary city, every major blue sanctuary state, our finest cities and states in America have turned to shit. That's the first of at least 3 curses, I promise you that. Trump curses, why can't I? But I'm being serious, whether it's New York or Los Angeles or Chicago, Atlanta, Portland, Seattle, all those once great cities, now it's cool to run around in the streets and terrorize Jews. And this mayor, this Mamdani, who won relatively easily, he's out there every day, and he doesn't even try to hide it. He's got a buddy whose name is Mahmoud Khalil. You guys know who that is? He's the face of campus terrorism across our country. He was the face of Columbia University. And Mamdani swears by him. He's got a friend named Nurdeen, who's out there every day telling us that the Palestinians are the ones who are being raped and murdered by the Israelis, not the other way around. And Mamdani swears by her. He's got a friend whose name is Hassan Piker. You've heard of him? Hassan Piker on a podcast one time with Mamdani sitting right there said, and I quote, "America deserved 9/11. America deserved 9/11, which was kind of the United States equivalent to October 7th. And ironically, we're coming up on 25 years this September on 9/11. Do you know what the mayor's response was to that? He wasn't the mayor at the time. You know what his response was? Anybody? Nothing. Not, oh, come on, don't say that. Oh, come on. Nothing. He's the mayor of New York City. You thought Bill de Blasio was bad. This guy's a lot worse. And there's lots of them, and they're popping up all over the place. A lady just won an election in New Jersey. She's anti-Semite, hates the Jews. No problem. We had a gentleman, a guy in New Jersey. He just won a political race. He's also an anti-Semite. It's happening all over the country, Michigan, everywhere except for Florida. That's why I lived in Boca Raton for 15 years. And a few other red states that it's not happening, but it's becoming a very serious issue in the United States. So if you think about it, we're less than 3 years removed from October 7th here. And October 7th was kind of the launching pad, if you will, for all of this rabid anti-Semitism across America. Pro-Hamas rallies that sometimes get 5,000 or 6,000 people. So when people say to me, Sid, what are we going to do? Anybody have an answer to that? What are we going to do, Sid? We don't have a draft in the United States. We don't, unlike the brave and courageous kids here, they don't serve in the United States. I said, you know what we got to do? And I had Dov Hikind say this, and my dear friend, the great comedic actor Michael Rappaport, say the same. What we got to do in America is train our kids like you guys do here. We got to do it. Because if our kids at some point don't defend themselves, and with words, that doesn't work. Okay? I told my son, somebody pushes you or punch you, you punch him back, you punch him harder. That's what Bibi does. That's what President Trump does. But we don't have that mindset in America yet. So when they ask me, what do we need to do? I say, we got to toughen up. Not here. You guys are the most resilient, courageous, amazing people God has ever created. But around the world, especially in the United States, Jews need to toughen up. Jews are way too okay getting spit at, made fun of, harassed, if not beaten up in the streets, and they don't do anything about it. They don't, and I'm sick of it. I'll give you one quick story. I was on a subway train, which is very dangerous. Right after October the 7th, wearing a shirt that said, New York stands with Israel. My wife was furious. Don't you go on the subway wearing that? I said, I don't care. I want somebody to start with me. My kids, too, they were furious. And sure enough, on the subway that day, and it's a guy with a yarmulke. It was a Friday. He was going to Brooklyn for Shabbat. And this little guy, not that it matters, he was black, doesn't matter. He was drunk, 11 o'clock in the morning. He walks up to this unsuspecting Jewish guy. He takes his finger, he puts it in his chest, and he goes, I'm not going to defend you, you genocidal mother effer. And he starts pointing his finger into his chest. He starts making contact. And this Jewish guy was scared to death. Scared to death. So at that point, I've got two choices. I can sit there and just watch this, or I can stand up and say something knowing full well that that guy would have kicked my ass all over the train. I stood up and I said, I'm a Jew too. Now what, tough guy? Mind you, I made in my pants as I said that, I'm being honest. I definitely shit my pants. I said, I'm a Jew too, now what, tough guy? So what did the guy do? He retreated to the end of the train. He kept yelling and screaming, but we were no longer in physical danger, because the truth is, all these tough guys out there that want to beat us up, for the most part, they're cowards. They show up on a Saturday morning, on a Shabbat holiday morning with guns and explosives when we're not ready, and they think they're tough. They're cowards. So my recommendation is, don't be afraid anymore. Don't. Do what they do here. They come at you, you come twice as hard. That's my answer to how we stop all this. Get angry. Get pissed. I'm pissed. You guys pissed? Like really pissed, right? Like, why are they picking on us? We're good people. We're nice people. What did we do? What did we do? Right? Anyway, Mark Levin is going to be here tonight. He's fantastic. He's on Fox News and on about 400 radio stations across America. And the Prime Minister is still going to be here too, both friends of mine. So we got a great night planned for you. Don't go anywhere. Thank you for giving me an opportunity to speak twice at this amazing summit. God bless all of you. God bless my friend President Trump. God bless our Prime Minister. God bless America. And of course, God bless Israel.